I'm live? Oh my god. Well, hello and welcome and welcome and hello. Welcome to SOFI After Dark, a subdued, dressed down version of Un Poco Mas. During the day, we give you just a little bit more, but we don't know what will happen at night. Thank you for tuning in. Hello and welcome and hello. We appreciate you joining us. For the first time ever, we have a live studio audience. No, we don't. I brought these children's sound machines off of eBay. I think I paid $5 for that one. And then I also have the business sound effects, which are sort of straight out of Office Space.
We have to be disruptive.
I think this one is actually Kathy Wood's motto.
We have to be disruptive.
Kathy Wood, always looking for disruptors, always looking for innovators, and just buying the living hell out of the SOFI stock day after day after day, guys. And of course, I'm not here to talk to you about a recipe for pesto. I'm not here to talk to you about the carnage in the world, all the conflicts. I certainly don't want to recap Diamond Joe Biden, the State of the Union address. It's like, guys, enough. I wish we could, move elections to every 30 years so we wouldn't have to deal with these bozos so often. But anyway, guys, I digress. They all get together, pat each other on the back, probably drink some really good scotch, and go have a good laugh about how us turds have to work such long hours to try to make ends meet. Well, they're out there having these lavish parties in their mahogany-lined no, I know it's not, politics isn't all glamour, but it's like, come on, guys, less pomp and circumstance, more get some stuff done. Stop burying us in so much debt. Like, everybody wants to talk about shrinkflation and, corporate greed. And of course, corporate profits are going to be, a major part of inflation. That's been proven by economists. But the thing is, corporations are going to take as much profit as they can. So if there's competition in the market, if there's collusion, that's something they're going to have to look at. But look at the fact that the government, pardon me. The government doesn't even have a shred of pretense about fiscal responsibility anymore. I don't care which party it is. They both spend wildly. So until we get our house in order, I was reading something that we're adding $1 trillion to the national debt sooner than every 100 days. So like 4 times a year, we're adding $1 trillion to our debt. Certainly not sustainable, but I'm no economist, even though I was an econ major. Back in school, graduated in 1962 from LaSalle University, degrees in econ and home economics. But in any case, guys, we are talking about the SOFI stock. Enough of my rambling. Just want to thank Not a Lurker J Money. I did not notify him of this broadcast because he does need to sleep. But he's helping me figure out this StreamYard and all this other fun stuff. I'm not the most technical person in the world. To put it charitably, I have to label my chords like A to C so I know what the hell's going on. But even then, I'm a little bit confused. Guys, on the day, it was a wild day, but it wasn't. You had that initial... They always pump for like 5 minutes at the open just to catch the dumpskis off guard. By the way, I forgot about my alternate persona. It's DJ Patchy Drizzle. Like an LA rainstorm, I come in with a lot of hype, but I always leave with a whimper. Very little substance. That's if you guys need me for any parties, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, anything like that, weddings, just you can reach out to me on Insta at DJ Patchy Drizzle. If you want more of a subdued event, if grandma don't dance, that type of thing, you want a DJ who's just going to come in a suit, very businesslike, and just play the oldies, play some classics, play some classical music. That's what you get with DJ Patchy Drizzle. Again, reach out to me on Instagram for all your live entertainment needs. DJ Patchy Drizzle, there's no ancillary items available, no full bar, no dancing girls. It's just some good old-fashioned wholesome family fun. And you can certainly pay your fees on Venmo or just pay me in SoFi shares. I don't give a what. Anyway, guys, let's see who's here. Thanks for joining me. Hello and welcome. Of course, not that many of you turds are going to be watching because it's like midnight over there, and plus these videos get less coherent by the day. Jake the Snake is here, and a lot of 14s. I'm trying to go. Ross Fletcher. YouTube does not want to notify you, Ross. It does not like you science types. Champion of excuses. YouTube is mostly for dum-dums. Champion of excuses. This is his AA session for SOFI stock. Yeah, I mean, that's what I want to talk about a little bit. Champion of excuses. Are those price drops? Why is the price dropping? I really don't think everything is what it seems here. And by the way, guys, Red Alert, Hunt for Red October, Red Sonja, all those movies. I know most of you guys are big Brigitte Nielsen fans, had those posters on your wall. We don't want to go there. We don't want to talk about what you guys were doing. But anyway, guys, that's my $5 children's noisemaker, a source of constant amusement. And I can't really stop playing with these things because I'm just such an idiot.
I'm at capacity.
I love the business one.
Let's really drill down on this.
I think this is probably smarter than most CEOs in corporate America.
Let's circle back to that.
Yeah, let's circle back to this noisemaker later, guys. I really want to talk to you about the SOFI stock, what I think is going on. Another day of... It's kind of scary that 81 million shares traded seems like low volume, but we did not have the absolute uniformity, if that is even a word, that we saw the last couple of days. And volume's actually low. Now, is this forming a base to go back up, or is this going to crash back down below 6? I'll just point out something that might, people sort of don't say very often, and that's that there has not been any bad news. We got a negative bump from GAAP net profit, triple beat. Okay, we got a negative bump from a massive NBA blockbuster deal. Blockbuster deal, guys. I remember it is DJ Patchy Drizzle. It's SOFI After Dark. I got to take the voice down a little bit. I tend to be a little on the loud and obnoxious side, if that hasn't come through in any of my videos. Hello and welcome, guys. Hello, Matt Flo. What's up, all facts? You will not get facts here, ma'am. Just no facts, ma'am. Danny whispers, sweet nothings, and hits a button. We have to be disruptive. Yeah, it's totally ridiculous, isn't it, Ross? Sold some cash secured puts. What could go wrong? Nothing could ever go wrong. Selling options, technical investor Wong. Two Wongs often do make a right. So hopefully the missus is there watching with you. Champion of excuses, CPI next week. What if it sinks the stock? Champion of excuses. What if CPI sinks the stock? If my aunt had a package, she would be my uncle, as the old saying goes. What if wishes and buts were candy and nuts? I mean, if the stock goes down, it goes down. You take paper losses that day. I mean, it's going to be temporary. I'm telling you guys, what this thing does over the next quarter or two, if you're a swing turder, I can't help you. Because swing turder, another name for swing turders are market timers. It's like if you follow IBD and you watch these buy signals, they're basically looking for a chart that goes up in a predictable manner, goes down in a predictable manner, and they try to get you in like 20% of the way down the curve, ride it 40% of the way down, and then get you out before the thing reverses. I mean, it's not rocket science, but with SOFI, those peaks and valleys and the up and downs are so deep. It's very difficult to swing turd this thing. And options, especially around earnings, I say I'm still not selling covered calls, just because I really don't want to get a lot of my shares called away, and I feel like this stock can go up $2, $3 any given day, and that feeling is only intensified if you take a look at what's been going on with the short interest on the stock. It's just crazy. And people are telling me, oh, this number doesn't mean anything, the aggregate short volume ratio. Listen, bozo. I know that the way orders are processed, there are some short orders generated. They're telling me, but why did this go from 30% up to 75%? If it's always the same every day, it's the same number of shorts, it just doesn't make any sense. This used to be, it would high ratio would be 60%. I have never seen this ratio anywhere near 70%. It went 74%, 76%, and now 68%. And if you surf on over to Ortex, you'll see the live short interest is now over 18%. Okay, and just today, that was, I think, 17.48% of the free float. So moving up half a point of the equivalent to another approximately at least 4 million shares shorted just on the 7th. Yesterday, today, it's today for me. Maybe it's yesterday for you. Maybe it's like 3 days from now if you wake up from a bender and you're depressed about this price fall. I don't know. But whenever you're watching this, bottom line is they shorted the hell out of the stock today. And they've already been shorting the hell out of the stock. And it mechanics and shorts can do that if they can control the price of the stock. What needs to happen is shares need to come off the table. Less shares available, shorting becomes more expensive, but even more importantly than the short borrow fees, which are completely insignificant because there's too many goddamn SPAC shares of SOFI. In addition to the short borrow fees coming up when shares are taken off the table, what also happens is the price stability. That's the key. Is institutions coming in create a price stability that nothing else will create, because retarders are emotional. They trade in and out. No matter, most of you say, hey, you're long-term investors. You're never going to sell your shares. Your core position, your core values, all this bullshit. Your core is weak. You got no core strength. You're working your glamour muscles. I already told you about the fat middle-aged workout. It's 5 sets of preacher curls followed by a huge chicken quesadilla. It's not helping anybody. It's not heart smart. If your cardiologist tells you to eat more quesadillas, get out of there. Go to another doctor. I've been going to a quack for the last 25 years. Every time I go in there, I say, Doc, I'm having problems. I'm not as spry as he's telling me to eat quesadillas. Turns out he was the custodian. I thought I was in some type of Goodwill Hunting scenario, but the guy wasn't a genius. He was just a fat idiot telling me to eat quesadillas in the closet of a hospital. I don't know. That wasn't a good bit, guys. Sorry about that. Anyway, champion of excuses. What if it sinks the stock? We have Princess J checking in from the peanut gallery. I can't quite make out. I don't think she thought that was a good bit. Get ready to punt positions. Why do you guys think CPI is going to be so hot? The last numbers were coming down. It's not as predictable as you think. I mean, everybody just always thinks SOFI stock is going to crash all the time just because it always does crash all the time. Oh, God. God, I hate these short-weighing turds. But anyway, then again, it could go upwards. Champion of excuses. You got me all wound up, and now if I just read down a few comments, you already calmed me down. Calm me down first, wind me up later. God almighty. Let's go, late night Danny D, working the night shift. I'm doing the best I can for you, Keegan Mullins. Map flow. I think Princess J is watching something else that is actually funny. God, I envy her in so many ways. Matt Flow got his notification. I notify Matt Flow special. They call him Matt Flow because he controls the order flow. He controls the options flow. I believe his dad is Warren Buffett. His uncle's Jamie Dimon. Matt Flow's pretty much running the world the way I understand things. We got Gustav Graves in the house. That is the greatest name I've ever heard. 1 ping only. Verified distance to target. Captain, 1 ping only. One time when I was living with my brother, he did a Sean Connery impression for, I think, 3 weeks straight without stopping. 2-3 weeks. Drove me literally to the brink of insanity. Just would not stop. I think even the dogs were going insane at that point. Tom Chingowski got home from work. Glad to see you. It appears Tom from Office Space has joined us. Matt Flo, yes. Can you please explain? No, I can't. Jake the Snake. I've been looking for an explanation for that. I've been looking for why. And the crazy thing is, on those candles, Jake the Snake, I kept thinking they were mistakes, but every chart I look at shows them, and they don't even move the price an inch. So it's all has to be pre-done. It's trading shares. I was wondering today. I saw 70 million shares borrowed, and people are telling me that's not a mistake. Is this part of this, call transaction around the senior note that crashed the stock that we've been hearing so much about now? Uncle Bruce, amongst others, this article I read yesterday on Seeking Alpha by some dude who seemed to know what he was talking about. He looked like a real nerd, had to know something. He's got to pick up chicks with math and stock advice. He's not picking up chicks with this weird flat top haircut came out of a 1950s movie like Hoosiers. Guy's probably wearing short basketball shorts and high socks. Chuck Taylor All-Stars. Throwing bounce passes like Ollie. Shooting his free throws granny style. Anyway, guys, sorry, I'm a little bit tired. I woke up very, very early, and I actually stuck to my 2 cups of coffee. Not a lurker would be proud of me, and I have to thank not only my physician, my team of physicians that's keeping me alive, keeping me pumped full of formaldehyde, but also Princess J for encouraging me to drink less coffee, because I think I was up to, I don't know, probably 12 espressos or something. Very, very unhealthy. Very unhealthy, that much coffee. Hi, all you night owls. Hello, Lisa. How you doing today? Yeah, 39 million. What do you think, Jake the Snake? I mean, was it setting up for a short? I mean, was it institutions selling? They would normally do that off market, like after hours. I mean, to do that during the trading day, it's very unusual. I've never, like I say, I watch the SOFI stock every single day, often much to my chagrin, but I never see candles like that. I mean, you see 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, but guys, so if the short interest of the free float moved up half a point in one day, remember what happened, say last, I don't know, whenever the short interest came out, I guess it was like the 14th or the end of the month. So they had short interest at 15 and Ortex was not catching up. It wasn't moving up. It usually, they detect the short interest quite accurately. And then once the filing comes out, their estimate is very near. But this time they were about like 2.5, 3 points behind the actual short interest. So basically, for lack of a better term, the short interest gapped up between the estimates and the actual short interest. So they were hiding that short from Ortex, who's usually very good, and others who I track who are usually very good at picking that out. I expect something similar but even bigger to happen with the next filing. I personally think short interest is well over 20% already. There is absolutely no way they're holding this stock here. But did SOFI need the stock to crash? And guys, you know I'm not one to peddle in unfounded conspiracy theories and just nonsense and drivel and gibberish and mental gymnastics and conspiracies about shorts and analysts and coordination and why I'm losing my money and it's not my fault and why I'm stupid and I buy penny stocks and many other grievances and problems that I have, because I am, in fact, a giant Karen. Got Cutes in the house. Cutes went to the groomer today. I've honestly never seen a better looking dog, a finer animal, and just a better friend. When they say, dogs are man's best friend, I think they were, in fact, talking about Cutes. And she's just the best. Of course, actually, Princess J is the best, but next to her, Cutes is the best. But anyway, guys, talking about this article and Investor Place, and again, want to thank Not a Lurker. I know he's, off in dreamland right now, preparing for his big day tomorrow, big Friday tomorrow for Not a Lurker. I don't really know why. It's just a normal Friday. But anyway, hey, you guys should be asleep. All of you should be asleep. What's going on? CPI premiums are sweet. Yeah, a lot of you guys selling options. You guys are smart. Yeah, this hurts active investors the most. Those who hedge use financial derivatives just throws all. Yeah, it's totally like shakes up the share count. There could be future dilution, but you don't really know how much. The short interest puzzling to me. Like there is no bad news. I think SOFI it will go back up. Yeah, I mean I'd like to think so, Stephen Butler. It's like. Chiavarini, the Chia Pet at Wedbush, like his price target is almost like the company's going to go out of business or they're somewhat in danger of going bankrupt or something or having some fire sale type of offering when, the exact opposite's true. They're playing moves out 5 years. They're reducing their interest expense. They're hedging that transaction to reduce potential dilution, reduce potential cash payouts. It's clear that Anthony Noto is absolutely on top of what's going on. CLP3, Chris Lapointe, our CFO, absolutely on top of what's going on. We do have Cutes in the house. Hello, Cutes. She is coming in. Do you guys want to see Cutes? I have to kind of adjust my setup here. Hold on, guys. Do you want to see Cutes? Sounds like you do. She just went to the groomers. Come here, Cutes. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's Cutes. Sorry, Cutes. I got to go back to full screen here. Oh, there she is. It's Cutes. It's Cutes. Cutes, say hello to the Turd Army. Say hello to the Un Poco Más Familia. It's Cutes. Cutes went to the groomer today. She's looking extra special. And when the groomer said, is she going to want the bandana or the ribbon? I'm going to say, if I know Princess J, and I think I do, she's going to want both. Okay, that was Cutes. Thank you, Cutes. We appreciate you. Go backstage. Anyway, guys, sorry, now I'm totally distracted because my favorite thing is just playing with the dog. So I'm completely distracted about my broadcast now, but be that as it may, I think it was worth it to get Cutes in appearance. Hopefully it, gets me a few views from people that just like dogs and realize my stock picks and advice are a bunch of complete bullshit. Anyway, guys, let me share my screen once again. Sorry, this show's kind of off the rails, guys. I'm kind of learning to use this StreamYard software as I go, and my left brain or my right brain, whichever one's technical, not a lurker, is asleep right now. So, let's see. I'm adding more like a king. P-Sizzle is absolutely not afraid. We got Uncle Fester, Core, you are joke, kiddos. Danny, learn the art of rolling your covered calls if necessary, and you won't fear using it. Yeah, I understand. I understand what rolling calls is. I don't have, making these videos is even hard for me, and I sell a lot of covered calls, and I'm done very well on SoFi, but I don't like to do it around earnings. I just never got back into the flow, boring investor. But yeah, I've made a lot of money on covered calls. I understand what rolling them is, but you still can lose your shares or lose money. I mean, rolling calls isn't going to mitigate that completely, but it does reduce, does hedge. You're absolutely right. Cover Arcadium Lithium. Why, P-Sizzle? What's so great about Arcadium Lithium? I will take a look at it. You guys have a lot of suggestions, but I just kind of like this stock. I don't know why. I buy a lot of different stocks. Hello and welcome, Colombian Kingpin. Good to see you. We're tanking once NVIDIA's done. I don't think so. I don't really think this stock's connected to NVIDIA. I bought more SoFi lately. Yeah, I bought 1,100 shares the other day, and then I bought another 600, and then I bought some Leaps. Bought some, what was it? Some January 2025s. I don't know. I bought all kinds of stuff. I'm stupid. Squeeze when? I mean, we don't know, guys. I mean, this is Uncle Bruce, and everything I've read is saying this is going to take, this could take this 70 million shares off the table, could be as many as 82 million shares off the table. When you think about it, they're talking about Cathie Wood owning, 1% of the company, or at least 1% of the float. This would be like taking that many shares off of the free float instantly. Just take them off the market. It should make the stock a lot harder to short. But you still need more institutions coming into the stock. I mean, they're still obviously not afraid. They're still shorting the hell out of it. They're still trading the hell out of it. They're still running pump and dumps and dump and pumps. I don't think a lot of retarders are looking out for dump and pumps. Like, everybody's so used to seeing the pump and dump, like, around earnings, but a lot of times they just attack the stock out of nowhere. They put out one of these ratings, and they just attack the stock 20% in a couple days, and it just seemingly comes out of nowhere. Now, this time, they had these convertible senior notes that sounded like dilution, sounded like really bad news, so it was a pretty easy one. And then they have the usual suspects come out. They bring out the Chia Pet. They bring out Perito. I mean, these are guys that always just downgrade the stock, but they're not even downgrading the stock. Like, why are they putting out a note? Because SoFi, issued these, so they come out and they reiterate their previous, their previous price target. So who are these analysts like a Chiavarini or like a, you notice they're always the lowest ones. Like everybody wants to cry when touchdown Dan Dolev from Mizuho lowered his price target from 15 to 12, kind of, chasing the price action, tail wagging the dog. But at least the guy's trying to look at numbers. He goes deep inside the numbers. He goes inside the analysis. Like he's, when they're talking about how the accounting system that SoFi uses is not, valid and it doesn't portray things in the same light as most banks. And, SoFi points out the system is valid. Dolev does a deep dive into that. Some other analysts did. Some of the analysts are looking inside the numbers. You can't be upset if an analyst reaches a conclusion based upon real information, real logic, real critical thinking. I mean, usually if you're adjusting your price target up or down significantly, at least you're doing some type of thinking about the stock. It's the easiest thing in the world. Just say, hey, I'm at 7, I'm going to downgrade to 650. Whether you're, a bowling ball-headed parrot or you're a Midwest values guy with bolts in your neck from, where was he from? Morgan Fudley. I mean, either way, if you're going to bookend the days in January with twin reductions from 7 to 650, it just doesn't require a lot of critical thinking. I mean, if Dolev, goes from 15 to 12, I'm not mad at the guy. I think he really thinks about the stock. I really think he thinks about what he puts out, and he thinks about his ratings a lot. Now, it all depends. If you follow analysts, you read what they say over time. If you follow a stock and you follow everything the analysts say, you sort of get the idea which ones, you sort of trust in terms of, the depth of their thinking, the critical thinking. If you see an analyst that just, was a buy on SoFi when it was in like the high double digits and it was actually in danger of going out of business several years ago, and then that same analyst is now a sell at 3, when the stock, the company's been absolutely killing it for the last couple of years and growing, that just makes no logical sense. And there's something else at play, something, very dishonest, something very smelly, something very turd-like. But anyway, guys, this article Investor Place. So SoFi stock is in the spotlight, following buys from Kathy Wood's ARK Invest on March 4th. ARK FinTech Innovation ETF disclosed that it acquired, and this a couple days ago, guys, 782,000 shares. So we knew about this one. This is right when they announced the convertible senior note offering, and then it went lower by 15% the next day. And then the next day, ARK purchased another, I believe it was 1.67 million shares, while ARK F added 200. So they bought almost 2 million shares that day. Basically, when everybody added everything up, they're telling me that SoFi now owns, ARK now owns over 1% of SoFi. And you see the relationship is decades long with Noto and Kathy Wood. Kathy Wood is offering these ARK vehicles on SoFi in terms of like private equity and stuff like that, that a lot of returners normally don't get access to. But so again, today, I didn't have a chance to look this up on my normal ARK side. I don't know. I just didn't have a chance to open all these. I was too busy playing with this Mad Money, stupid, idiotic soundboard. But I guess this is an exact recreation of Kramer's soundboard. Anyway, guys, so that's just more dumb stuff there. Wood wasn't phased on March 5th. Again, picked up more shares. Following that transaction, ARK owns 6.47 million, making 31st largest position in the ETF, 36 total. I think it's down to like 34th. But that's a very significant position. They're owning 1% of the company. And remember, that's nothing compared to like a Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, some of these other companies. I saw another filing, FMR LLC, owned, thank you, Princess J. God, what would I do without you? I would absolutely be living somewhere in a cardboard box if I was lucky. I would like to thank Flint Creek Soap Company. Got the package. They sent out one of our viewers, Flint Creek Soap Company. When I'm back at my office doing a video, I'll go ahead and show you the graphics and give them a good plug. And you guys know, I don't plug anything. I don't try to sell you anything, but just beautiful, beautiful stuff. Couldn't thank you enough. Huge thank you to Flint Creek Soap Company. And you can see Flint Creek Soap Company. I don't know if you can see that, but sorry to interrupt the show. This is not like a paid endorsement or anything, guys. But Flint Creek Soap Company since 2001. Believe it or not, they make soap. Who would figure? But also they make other stuff. So If you have a beautiful, wonderful, absolutely fantastic princess in your life like I do, treat them to some of the finer things from Flint Creek Soap Company. Anyway, guys, enough of my plugging, but would like to thank Flint Creek so much for that lovely gift package. It just brightened our spirits. So anyway, guys, back to sharing my turd screen. What does it mean that ARK continues to buy the stock? It just means shares come off the table. It means ARK is always a bit on the cutting edge, but SoFi is probably one of the safest stocks they own. If you actually look at the growth, what did SoFi do? This is what, obviously, I wasn't hoping SoFi fell off a cliff, but it looks like it's caught this support line. Same low it made, back here, what day was this? This was the 18th of January, tested down here for basically 3 days. Kind of a similar thing going on here, 3 days. So do we expect the stock to move up tomorrow? Well, options are telling us not really, because Max Payne is all the way down, guys, to $7.50. And let me say, welcome and hello and hello and welcome. It's DJ Patchy Drizzle on SoFi After Dark. Welcome and hello. Thank you for joining me. We do have a live studio audience in-house, which is very, very exciting. You could hear them clapping their thunderous applause for DJ Patchy Drizzle. The people love him. He's not as good as that old CEO of Goldman Sachs and their Marcus product. What a brilliant marketing move, naming your consumer bank Marcus. Really relatable. Yeah, who's your bank? My bank's Marcus. This doesn't make any sense. Anyway, guys, Max Payne is $7.50. You see these options opening up on the volume here. Puts coming in pretty heavily. 18,000 contracts there at 7, and then you have calls opening up pretty heavily at 750. So you just have to expect they're going to kill those calls in lieu of some type of a big investment. Now, how much can they short this thing when the short interest comes out on NASDAQ mid-month? What's it going to look like? I really think if this keeps going like this and they keep trying to hold the stock down here, and why are they holding the stock down here? That's another great question. I mean, when you start to read the release from SoFi, put the pieces together. Everybody was talking about, what happened with Uber. And of course, Uber puts out announces pricing on an upsized $1.5 billion convertible senior note offering. It was almost the exact same thing. Very, very, very similar. The interest rate was like 0.85 instead of 1.25, but it was the same types of premiums. And then because it's kind of complicated how all this stuff works, but they offer, and then the counterparties to these transactions go in other transactions. There's all sorts of hedging. There's all sorts of shenanigans going on that, are just way, way over my head. But the bottom line is, since Uber entered into the transaction right about here, their stock price was about $55. Now Uber's stock price is almost $80. So that's a massive, massive move to the upside. I'm not saying it's because of that deal, but everybody's saying this actually will put upward pressure on the stock. It's actually a good thing for the company. And by the by, not for nothing, but, have you ever bothered to take a look at Chris LaPointe's biography or his little spiel they put up here? Chris LaPointe, SoFi CFO, he joined from Uber Technologies. Okay, corporate finance, fintech. Prior to Uber, he was vice president of TMT investment banking at Goldman Sachs. So Chris holds an MBA from the Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth College and a Bachelor of Arts degree in math and economics from Dartmouth College. And, that kind of goes back. These guys aren't all just MBA clowns, finance douchebags, Armani suit turds. These are real people. I mean, Noto's an engineer. LaPointe is math and econ. Also, of course, he does have an MBA, but who doesn't these days, right? I don't, of course, as you can tell by these videos. Anyway, guys, it's just interesting to connect the dots. And I know he was already at SoFi when Uber made this deal. It wasn't like he negotiated this deal, but I'm just saying, you don't just leave someplace you're at. You still have roots there. You can, he can probably still talk to old colleagues about that deal, about what it had. So all the tentacles are there. Like the guys, running Uber, Goldman Sachs, SoFi, these are all Goldman Sachs guys. I mean, Goldman Sachs does not tend to lose money on deals. I mean, sometimes they do, of course, but if you look over time, they make a lot of money. There's our old buddy, Jeremy Rochelle. He's actually a really smart guy. We love to give this guy a hard time just because he sells SoFi stock, but that's not everything. He's an MBA. He holds computer science philosophy from Massachusetts Institute of Technology and an MBA from MIT's Sloan School of Management. So he's really no slouch either. Anyway, guys, I don't know. I don't really have too much more to go into. Probably just read some of your comments and then sign off for the evening. Aunt Kathy loading SoFi again. There's Chris LaPointe saying these guys are clowns. There's the Parrot and the Chia Pet chilling over here as clowns. Will the convertible note deal pressure the short donkeys? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How many shares is this really going to take off the market? Is it going to be immediate? A lot of people online who are, most of us are idiots, especially you turders, especially me. They're saying like, hey, this thing's going to close on the 8th. That's what the press release said. And that's going to put immediate upward pressure on the stock. I'm not sure if that's true. I mean, that seemed to be what Uncle Bruce was saying, and that guy seemed to know what he was talking about. At least many of you say he does, and all of his explanations seem very logical. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have read this press release, but it reduces the interest rate that they're paying. I know it's not like a direct substitution, but they're paying these preferred shares were 12.5% rate, and that's cutting that down to 1.25%. The exchange for that is, of course, you face some future dilution, but that's this call transaction. Cap call was, designed to prevent, more dilution than is necessary, also more cash. And you can tell, you can read all the terms about when SoFi can buy these things out. I believe it was 2027. Convertible by the note holders on or after September 15, 2028. So there's, basically this thing's coming out to 2028, 2029. You're not going to see immediate dilution significant from this deal, but you are going to see an immediate savings of that $40 million in interest that they're paying on those $350 million in preferred shares. The rest of the funds are going to be used to enter into these cap call transactions, which are going to make the company money, tie up shares, makes things harder on the shorts, should drive up the cost to borrow. But again, it's not enough. It's not enough just to take off, 70, 80, 85 million shares off the table, because while that's very, very significant, it still, leaves your short interest probably at best at 50%. And to really, really, really get shorts off the stock, you need, institutional investors and insiders to be at a very minimum at 60%. So, it's just going to take time. Obviously, it wasn't the gold rush, the rush of institutions after Q1, but I think Q2, Q3, you prove it to them for a couple of quarters, after Q4, the GAAP net profit that was announced at the beginning of Q1. But I think if Q1 we come in above estimates and there's strong beats to the top line and especially strong beat at the bottom line, you're going to see this. You're going to see this stock maybe not explode, but you're going to see the steady march up. And this is the chart we want to see, guys. Like Uber, do you see this angle on the 6-month chart? This is not trading like a SoFi, where this just having these absolutely insane peaks and valleys like the Alps. This is trading more like a stock where institutions are bullish the stock and shorts and mechanics aren't just playing games with it and kicking us right in the balls. But again, I would encourage you, as we've said many times, watch Uncle Bruce's video, read this article by Dyer Sevenbayev on Seeking Alpha. The market is wrong about convertible notes offering. Basically, none of these bears who kind of cite this in their FUD, particularly the Parrot and the Chia Pet, none of them really cite any coherent, argument in my, that I can understand. I wanted to see if I could grab that Chia Pet note. I'm not seeing it right here. Let's see if the Chia Pet is available. I don't know. I've read his notes so many times, and whenever I'm looking for it on the air, I can never find it. But basically, he flipped his arguments on their head. He just revised his 2025, I guess, Q1 EPS estimate from 7 cents to 6 cents, was it? Or 6 cents to 5 cents. He revised it. Whenever he revises things, he just pushes them very slightly downward wherever they were. I think it's, I think it's unlikely that SoFi makes that little in Q1 2025, but that could be a very tough time depending on how this soft landing goes. Anyway, it just depends what you think is going to happen. I mean, I thought, this gap net profit would really put some pressure on these shorts and they wouldn't be able to drive it down. I know they would be able to, but I thought they would choose not to given the reality confronting them. But again, mechanics, traders, well-funded, they don't care about, necessarily the fundamentals in the short term. They can push the stock wherever they want. The only people that can push back are people with equally big money, equally big power, willing to take on the leverage. And that's why I think why Noto and LaPointe are crafting this transaction on a model of what Uber did, perhaps LaPointe's last company, is that, they're basically putting up more of a direct challenge to these shorts playing games with the stock. I know this must be very frustrating for the SoFi management team. Perhaps not. Perhaps they're more mentally well balanced than certain U-turders. That's not really the point. Don't like champion of excuses. Do not like squeeze when MT trout fishermen. Yeah, their debt management. Sound fiscal management is a good thing, not a bad thing. Just because people are saying it's going to lead to dilution. Concierge talk. Are you a physician, Keegan Mullins? It's scary when I see that some of you guys are in such positions of responsibility, yet you're still watching my channel. Lots of brokies watch those leagues, so perfect customers for SoFi market fees. We're about to get so many the NBA. Come on. Peace sizzle. Peace sizzle. It's bedtime. Bedtime stories. Flint Creek, I hope you saw earlier when I was plugging your gorgeous products that you sent us. Thank you so much. We should merge with Ally. I mean, Ally Bank is a really good company, really well-run company. I know they, they don't have sort of the panache of a SoFi, but yeah, I mean, when you talk about buyout, it doesn't have to be one of the huge players. I mean, it actually kind of makes more sense for a smaller player to acquire SoFi. That would give them more scale. It would actually, what really would it mean if one of the top 4 banks, 5 banks, 8 banks acquired SoFi? It wouldn't mean really much to their numbers. It might mean a lot to their technology. It might be a strategic decision, but it would certainly be a lot more impactful for sort of a mid-tier player. Interesting suggestion there, P. Sizzle. Thank you. Let's just keep the other comment out of the discourse. I bought at 7.20 today. Thank you. Ally, SoFi, M&A. Such a bad. I'm gonna put you in the penalty box, but yeah. I mean, I think you'd actually be surprised. Very people of all races do enjoy basketball. Bought at 7.20 today. Thank you. Been out at Life GDZ on the Jolt Cola, bro. 216 trip with you Friday. M&M always in control. Yeah, Jolt Cola is not even available anymore. Believe me, I've looked. Yeah, I mean, market makers are always in control, both bears and bulls. It just depends who's putting more money into the fight at that particular time. I don't even know that Chia Pet represents the shorts. It seems more like he has a point to make, like he doesn't like Anthony Noto or something. I don't know. It seems like more of like a personal thing where he's making a point by just reiterating 3 over and over again, not changing anything, not saying anything that makes sense. It does not dilute available shares. I think what they're saying is the call transaction is going to make shares unavailable. A certain amount of shares are going to be locked up based on that underlying transaction. Again, I do need to go back and watch these videos and read these articles. Probably will do so in the article. No, Danny, we don't want to see your nudes. I don't have any nudes, P. Sizzle. You might be dreaming. Oh, what a cutie, thanks. Looks like bedtime. Sorry, guys, I'm reading these comments like so much later. Like P says, "Oh, I might have offered to show some needs." I certainly don't remember that, but Cutes, what end of the year SoFi price prediction? Cutes price prediction for the end of this year is hold on, I can barely. She says 1550, and I believe in her. Cutes needs a SoFi color. I'll see what I can do. We're here for Cutes, not for SoFi. Exactly. Dogs are awesome. You know, the initial job was claimed to be manipulated or hurt us after the election. Employment data is inaccurate. So I really feel like they can manipulate that data too, Ross. I mean, I don't know how on the up and up the whole government is. I mean, nothing special about SoFi. I mean, it's a matter of opinion, IO. Growth is there. Whether that will continue and whether they will be able to, turn this sort of explosive EBITDA increase into net profit. It's sort of, as a matter of course, IO, gap net profit is going to follow in the footsteps of these huge EBITDA increases, and particularly if the growth holds up. So, I don't know. I think there's something special about it, but you're certainly welcome to do you. Nobody's trying to get you to buy. I don't care what you do. Go buy an index fund. Weak sauce. That's why I think too. I would just add a 4 cents per share in earnings. Yeah, I know that. I know that's an immediate charted travel. That interest savings is going to be immediate. So, that's 1 cent a quarter. I'm too poor to buy me shares. Gather enough change for a few leaps. There you go, Bobby Joe. Leaps are just as good. Earnings aren't important at this stage. Chart. It's starting to get important. You're probably right, but it's actually starting to become important because people really want to see what this Q1 looks like. Was Q4 a flash in the pan? So again, I would say you're wrong, IO, but I appreciate the comment. Wrong as it is. Someone said they will give new guidance in a few weeks. That will help. Yeah, I mean, well, earnings is in 3 weeks or the end of the quarter, so earnings will be in less than 2 months now. It's 7 weeks. Yeah, they might reiterate, they might raise, they can come out with new guidance, that's for sure. Ally's in serious trouble, they're the largest auto lenders. Yeah, Ally was part of GM, but actually Ally is not really in big trouble because that's not as big a part of their business. At least I read an article analyzing the business. I'm no expert on Ally. I'm not an Ally shareholder, so I don't put a lot of time. But I don't think the majority of their business is like GM Financial. I think they were born as part of like GM Financial. They're doing a lot of auto, the warranty stuff, extended warranties. I think they got out of all that, and they're mainly just like more of a conventional online bank now, Air Force. But I could be wrong. I'm not an Ally expert, but yeah, IO's got some fuzzy math going on, some serious napkin math. Thanks, Flint Creek. Thanks, Lisa. What's up, folks? The Savage of Wall Street's back. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's some good soap. One of the things, like, maybe you're not a billionaire, you can't afford like a Rolex watch or a Rolls Royce or whatever the case may be. But sometimes the little things can do wonders as well. Just some really good soap, and if you want some, get it at Flint Creek Soap Company. I mean, why not support the Turd Army and the Un Poco Mas Familia? Fellow simpletons, degenerates who be on the morning, this turd in the evening. More about SoFi. I'm barely talking about SoFi, barely making any sense. Tobacco vanilla soap today. Need more soap. Tobacco vanilla. Stock Karens. Oh, Billy, same idiot at work today, is meddling in one of my conversations about SoFi. He was like, SoFi dilution, blah, blah, blah. And I said, motherfucker. No shares have been created. Float just became less. Yeah, you're right. In the short term, you're right, Savage of Wall Street. And in the midterm, but, there will be some dilution, very likely, 4 or 5 years down the road. Big whoop. I took a look. I know this is like, this is a stupid way to do it, but compound interest calculator, start with 30% rate over 5 years. You get up to 9. Say this is 24. So you get up to 7. I'm just trying to think about what sales are going to be like 2029, 5 years from now. It just depends what you guys think the growth rates are going to be. It's just very hard to say. But it's just really interesting to look at the Uber deal. This came out, 5 months ago, and the stock is up like 40%. Is that based on some fundamental great change in Uber's business? I think they did have a good quarter last quarter. I'm not invested in Uber anymore, unfortunately. I lost patience like a turd. I should have stayed with it. Um, added 400 more shares, 715 yesterday, now sitting even prettier than before. Yeah, very nice. I think the low sevens is going to prove to be really good. There, Savage Wall Street. Don't worry about the pennies. You did well. Chad Borton is my pick. Love the name. Such Chad. Yeah, and also he's very, very good. And the head of the bank is very important. I can't get a charter until I get a finance job. I'll never be CLP3. CLP3, he goes hard in the paint, guys, like Waka Flocka Flame. Don't forget it. Can you shoot that cricket? Sorry, guys. There's so many crickets around here. So much background noise. It's the way it is. Idiot savant, watch your work. I should go to sleep. Please do, Lisa H. This is not 17.5 and made it to May. Yes, that's the whole thing, Ross. That interest was going up 5 points. So that would have been, another, $15 million a year on top of that. We'll know the market opens. Shorts cover means threatened by the offering. They weren't threatened in the very, very short term, but I think as people digest it, as returners stop panicking. I don't know how many returners panicked there. That HFT churn was just insane. The volumes were insane. They obviously had that thing locked and loaded. They always do. That wasn't spontaneous. They're ready to go. They're ready to go. What are they going to say about these changes in by SOFI management? I don't know. I don't know the next time management's going to come out and talk. Awesome. Thank you so much yet again. When does Wall Street Bets get involved? I don't know. I don't know if they're, a lot of people keep talking about Wall Street Bets, the apes jumping on the stock. Haven't seen anything. Heard just rumblings, but I don't necessarily want that on the stock. I don't want to become, I think management's fought really hard to get out of that meme stock image, that sort of SPAC scam image. I think they've earned that. I'm guessing some banks want to IPO SoFi, and he went SPAC. I think Jamie Dimon honestly seems to hate Noto and SoFi. I think others hate Noto and SoFi. Maybe they're jelly. It's quite possible. Chia Pet is son of a woman who wanted to marry Anthony Noto, but he said, I don't want to go to that wife thing. It might hit a little too close to home. Maybe somebody turns somebody down for a date. Who knows? Nothing special about SoFi. Why Vanguard and Kathy keep buying the shit out of SoFi. I mean, the savage of Wall Street, your point is well taken. I mean, they're not making a ton of money yet, but it's that potential to be special. If they grow very large and they're making huge margins, they make a ton of money, we're going to look like geniuses. Can you look into SPR, high conviction play, good management, but I'm bad at reading financials. I'm bad at reading, period. But yes, I will try. Yeah, I'll take a look at it, Bobby Joe. SPIR. Let me write that down. Okay. Practical luxury, absolutely. It's retarded. Yeah, but hey, I was doing this thing. Savage test, Flint Creek's fucking luxurious. What are you talking about? My ass smells like $1 billion. You're a live wire there, Savage of Wall Street. You're a live wire. Jamie Dimon feels threatened by SoFi. Yeah, perhaps he saw Noto in the country club shower at one point and he's felt inadequate ever since. I don't know. I don't want to go there. It is SoFi After Dark. I am DJ Patchy Drizzle. I come in with a whimper and leave even quieter. Noto plays Jamie when he requires. I don't think so, guys. I think this is going to be Noto's last conventional job. I think he's going to be with SoFi for probably 5 more years, and then I think he's going to be ready for retirement. I know he's probably a very competitive guy, but I don't think he's the kind of guy that wants to work himself into a grave. He probably has other interests, other things he'd enjoy doing. Can we trust Noto? If yes, why? I think looking at his track record, looking at his life, looking at his values, looking at the way he's run the company, looking at his track record with the company. If people say, oh, it's only 10 quarters, it's only 11 quarters. That's as long as they've been a public company. What do you want the guy to do? Doesn't have a time machine. I think he's done incredibly, incredibly well considering the roadblocks that have been thrown up in front of him. That's for you to judge, That's for you to judge, Anthony Walker. I can't tell you why to trust other people. Santran, SoFi looks like new. I wouldn't really agree with that. I think new is like a wildfire being blown by the wind. Up a steep hill with all kinds of dry grass. SoFi is more of a controlled burn. It's not the same type of just frenzied growth, product expansion. I mean, I worry about regulatory stuff in these South American countries. I definitely see the corollaries between the business model, the growth, all that stuff. I mean, you make a good point, Santran. But I think it's a really a different company, even though by outward appearances it looks like they're doing all the same stuff. But the growth is obviously much, much more radical on new. I mean, they have a huge percent of the Brazilian adult population signed up. I personally have a bit of new. When Tanner said, he was talking about the stock, it was like $8. I bought some. I've done extremely well so far on it. Thank you, Tanner. But you know, I have far more SoFi. I believe SoFi has a lot more long-term stability, more long-term potential. It's just my opinion, but I think New is also a good company, and those who know really like their management. Stock go. I mean, I think his price targets are very, very aggressive. I mean, I don't think it's hopium. I don't think he. I think he's. I think some of it is like drama, and it's. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he believes all those numbers or if he's shading it a little. That's like more his. I would say that he believes the numbers, but it's more his bull case, and he knows. Some of the numbers are optimistic. I would kind of paint myself with that same brush. So, love the stock goat. So I don't know. I take him at face value. That's what he's saying he thinks it's going to be. I have no reason to say otherwise. So I'll just go with that, Keegan. I think he's not far off. So Lisa SH has the stock goats back. This has got your 6. Don't worry. Honestly, great metaphors for SoFi New. It's Ross. I mean, I don't know. It's like they look so similar. It's just like, but to me, I'm far more comfortable putting my nest egg in SoFi and Noto. I can see it here. It's regulated here. They're a bank in America. I think there's no reason they can't expand internationally. But I would just much rather at this point put the majority of my, fintech type investment into SoFi. I know there's a lot of other good options out there. The guys are talking a lot about Robinhood. People are talking about Affirm, how that's going to go way, way up. I just don't see it. I just like SoFi's business model. I like the stability of their growth. I like their management. I like what they're doing with the NFL. I like what they're doing with NBA. I like their, core values. I like how they treat their customers. I like that their customers want to stay with them, want to give them their direct deposit dollars, that they, I just think they treat their customers right. It's better. That's going to cause customers to stay with them for a long, long time, and that's going to lead to huge lifetime profits reaped by SoFi from those customers. I think their business model makes a ton of sense. I think the tech is going to take off. I think Noto knows what he's doing. I think if you look at the guys over there at Galileo, they are another dream team. We have a management dream team within a management dream team. This is like Inception, except it's not that hard to understand and you don't fall asleep halfway through. 30% of my speculative account. Yeah, Ross, my position just keeps growing regardless of whether I want it to. I like Stock Goat as well. He's just SoFi through and through. Some of us we might get a little carried away at times with our numbers, might get a little bit optimistic, but I think in the back of our minds, we know that, the bear case exists, there are pitfalls, there are risks. And if you don't know that, you shouldn't invest in growth stocks. You should invest in something much, much safer. Because don't kid yourself, guys. This is the kind of thing where some piece of big bad news is going to, the shorts are going to have an absolute field day and, chop us in half. I mean, it happens. Do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't. But could it? Absolutely. On that, SoFi fanboys forever. Thanks. SoFi treats their staff really well. Yeah, I do know some people. I'm in contact with some people who work for the company. They really do like it. But, good morning, Mikkel Hagen. I'm sorry, I was just ending the show when you signed on. And my apologies, my friend. Guys, anyway, it's the SoFi stock, ticker symbol SOFI. Take a look at the Uber deal. take a look at the SoFi deal, see if you can digest it, see if you can understand it. I think when you do, and I'm starting to get there, you're going to find it's actually not bad news at all. For the near term, it's very good news. They're going to save that 12.5% or $40 million a year. And also, as Ross noted, that number would have jumped up to 17.5% very shortly, which I believe was the impetus for this deal. Guys, I think short interest is about 20% right now. I think that number is going to pop up when we see that new filing here. I guess it will be the end of next week or something like that. But time will tell, guys. Short interest starts to get in the 20s. This thing could get very interesting. Don't think that Noto doesn't have more deals, more good PR to drop. I just think this guy never sleeps. He's a dynamo, and he's the kind of guy you want at the helm as an investor. So today or yesterday on the day, it was up 7 cents, down 2 cents after hours. Volume was a moderate 82 million shares. People are talking about these two just sort of insane candles that came right at the end of the day. I think it was 70 million and 40 million. We were trying to think about what those meant. And then going back to the borrowing today, guys, I mean, just very quickly, I mean, this is like insane. This was all the way up to 76 million net borrowed, and then after hours it fell down to net borrowed change 28 million shares on the day. I mean, yesterday was 1 million. When you see that number extremely high, it's usually 6, 8 million. I mean, so I'm guessing this has everything to do with that transaction. That's the only thing that makes sense. And they're talking about all the parties, counterparties are going to be hedging. They're going to be involved in these derivative transactions. So, I don't know if that's going to provide price stability or not. I'm just not smart enough to figure it out. But, God blessed me with these short, fat legs, not them brain cells. But I assure you, it wasn't brains that caught me in this chair. Good morning, Mikkel Hagen. 8 a.m. here, just woke me up. Sorry, man. It's like something late here, and I've been up since like 3 a.m., and I'm going to go to sleep. I feel better about the stock than I ever did. Wish I had some cash to buy. Yeah, me and you both, Mikkel. So to Wall Street, I want Noto to adopt me. I'm sorry, you can't have him. He's my biological father. He won't accept that. I've been trying to corner him on Murray. I also will accept SoFi shares as payment, though I have nothing to sell. Guys, interesting day today. Been a really fascinating week. I know it's kind of painful when things drop. The reason I say, did SoFi need the crash? I don't have time to go through it right now. I don't have the energy, but read this thing and, were the buyers of these notes going to accept things at 10 or 11 if the premium is there? Because then it goes beyond that. You just have to read this for yourself and just keep in mind, did they need this price to come down to make this deal work for the other parties? I know it's a conspiracy theory. I know it's stupid, but those are two things that are my stock in trade. So I'm just going to leave it there, guys. No one can take these shares from me. I do not want to pry them from your cold. Savage of Wall Street, take it down 1,000. Nobody's trying to take your shares. You're good, man. You're good. Enjoy your shares. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your youth. But anyway, yeah, like me, you may need less coffee. But anyway, guys, yeah, if Noto adopts you, congratulations. I'm sure you'll get some preferred shares out of the deal. But guys, read this press release on the deal that Noto puts out. Explains it pretty well. Again, watch the Bruce video. Read the SoFi piece there on Seeking Alpha. There's many other articles. And it goes into the cap call transactions, and the initial price, $14.54, represents a premium of 100% over the last supported share price of $7.27 on March 25. So if that price was $9.50 instead of $7.27, this $14.54 would turn into, $19 or whatever the case may be. Maybe the deal doesn't get done. Maybe I'm just totally out to lunch. Maybe I don't understand how it works, but it seems to me the way these deals are structured and these premiums to the closing share price, it would have been good to bring people into this deal if the share price was lower. It would have been good for SoFi. I know it seems counterintuitive to think a lower share price could be good for a company, but I think when certain transactions are being crafted, it might actually be. I might be totally crazy on that. Hello, Cleon. How's it going? Yeah, send some cash. Buy some soap, guys, you cheap bastards. What's wrong with you? Support a small business. I'm in business since 2001. You guys don't know how hard it is. Anyway, guys, had a vision of you doing SoFi Sunday specials in priest robes, preaching about our Lord and Savior Noto. No, I'm not going to take it there. I'm not going to take it there. Entertainment International is looking for a pop on Monday. Guys, I've been talking and talking for like an hour. It is just absolute drivel. I got to get out of here. Thank you for watching Un Poco Moss. My name is DJ Patchy Drizzle, and I am once again going out with a whimper.